take the counsel or leave the counsel, but listen, at this point it's on you. But they hold on, kicking the lost case of a dying horse to essentially a sinking vessel, a sinking ship. Yeah, it's 5:28 in the morning. They hold on to a sinking ship. Holy clear, they're not gonna make it, they're not gonna win. Boy in the middle of Busi. Yeah. They hold on to it for dear life. They hold on until the walls close in because they hope they're gonna make it. They hope it's going to suffice when it's clear sisters abuti everybody, you're not gonna make it, you're not gonna win. Get away ka murder syndicate drug boss. It's been closed in on. The best thing you can do for yourself is surrender. Take a deal, dog. Anything. Because won't come to else, if at all they don't stick them out and so go to jail, they're gonna go out in a blaze of fire by the police. So I haven't had about police by Hotunya, but I haven't had about Danyani. Quit those jobs. And as soon as you leave, your boss is going to send that message out to the staff members or the local channel yak. Cause he's scared of me but you keep on saying the reason why is because the corrupt and the satan honestly everyone everyone le pink le purple. It doesn't matter. More than you. And he is trepidatious. He is shaking like a leaf. Because listen, they come to pass. I get la blackmail. So as soon as quit I think it's gonna be too little too late because he's corrupt. So he's gonna go to jail. He's going to get arrested. The stuff you're doing is just not gonna make it. It's not gonna win. It's not gonna win. Like, what is this? Like, he feels like his hands are tied because I get it, you are extorters and not extorters but blackmailers, and being as full of blackmail as you are blackmailing for no other reason but the fact that you got girl beef with another chick. What? Girl beef, really? Mamela, you are literally causing a white man to lose sleep over girl beef. That is hell hath no fury like a woman scorned right there. That is, women are irrational when they're angry at men because they will destroy other women. They will lose their minds. They will go loco. They will not know whether they're coming and they will not know whether they're going. So listen, perform whatever feats you want to perform with all the absoluteness of performance that you can walk in. But comprehend this much, oh here diabolical beastly mongrels. It's not gonna suffice, it's not gonna manage to do a thing, it's not gonna tumble on the spot. It's an athlete, it's not gonna do acrobatics. It's the end of the road, like Boys to Men. Now that you go and to the end of the road, now you don't wanna quit no job even though it's over for you've been shopping spree at the Gucci on people's revenue. It's over. Monate go fedile ke mo ka dipotsotso Christmas se fedile ke bao ka dipotsotso Christmas se fedile ke bao ka dipotsotso Christmas se fedile ke mau ke bao ka dipotsotso Christmas se fedile go fedile ka se ndi ke jando na lo soir hali sa tlogele mo mereko ke mau Caripozzozo, Christmas fedile, che mau caripozzozo, Christmas fedile, gli aperti pozzozo, e di pozzozo santo taluna, gli direi che le Gucci. You went on shopping sprees, and now it's over, babies. You've been warned. And like I said, nobody reza. Mopela, you're trying to out to commit suicide. It's giving Hades. Lady Hele. I get it. You've heard. You are thieves, dog. The devil has come to steal, kill, and destroy, and you've been doing all that. The rosemary and lovu, le herb elephant. The herb elephant. Right next to it, laut. Like I say, you can't die in that state. Like, you get that, right? You can't die in that state. You are saboteurs. Oh, and listen, the worst thing you can do is persecute Jesus. The worst thing you can do is persecute the body of Christ. So over and above being herb elephant, over and above being rosemary and lovu, killing family members, khamaring them and shabaring them, over and above being rosemary and lovu, le khamadi family member le ba hlaba, you also are thieves that are defrauding a massive company that God is looking at carefully because it is proliferating his message on the earth. And now you are an affront to the message of the cross and are actively persecuting a child of God. Honey, my bumble, sugar, la la la, pumpkin, snapples. You can't afford to die like that. And then you are suicidal, all of y'all. You women. You are literally on your deathbeds as we speak. You're gurgling blood. You're choking it up a storm. You've got no water after 3 days in a desert and it's giving lights out coding, flatline any minute now. You are frankly dying. Oh my goodness. It's dying. That's the battery dying over there. I'm gonna have to walk away from this here device very soon because even my charging device is like boing, 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 boing. I thought it was gonna linger, but I guess when it's charging another device, it dies that much faster. My life is just so sucky at the moment, and I can't even think of anything else that I have that is an electronic that I can use to charge my phone. Like, listen, I don't have a laptop. I don't have nothing. I can't even think. Like, listen, I'm thinking about maybe something in the house. Nothing. I'm done for. I'm gonna have to stop recording over here very soon because this here is running out of battery. It's gonna go dwee until it's completely dead. So, hear that? It's like calling me, like dring dring. Battery's dying. Christmas yaka, if it is. I had a charger, but now it's gone. Where's my power bank? I used to have a power bank. Why have I no power in my bank? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna, listen, go fix our conversation yaga over here. I'm gonna finish my conversation on this device and it's on 56%. Is there anywhere where sister got peace? Like anywhere? Why do I only have 56% left? Hey, I really hope the sun will come out next. Y'all. And when the sun comes out, I'm gonna be able to carry on talking. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to pause somewhere in the middle because my devices just died on me. This passed away, and it's like, what am I gonna do with all this? Like, it's so sorrowful. And I'm so verbose, you know. I'm so verbose. Oh, I'm so verbose. Yeah, but listen. We'll talk for as long as we can still talk on this device that's sitting on 37%. The device that's sitting on 37% is gonna die even faster with no charger. And there's like, literally nothing else that I can use to charge this phone. Like nothing else. I can't. I'm just looking around over here. Hey, is there something I can think of better days? No, there's literally nothing else. There's nothing else. Anyway, whatever. Let me just talk as much as I can talk and then I will move on to this device. And just, you know, like, just deal, you know, just deal. Just not have it, like, just deal. Like, I don't deserve this. I'm such a deal. Why does South Africa have no electricity? Hey, let me just deal. When I get, hey. Anyway, whatever, this thing, the battery's dying. Yeah, I was made in Lovely. You can't afford to die like that. Herb, elephant, you can't afford to die like that. You, like, I might be your enemy because you have seen it fit to make out of me an enemy. But at the end of the day, I am the best friend you ever met. I am the best thing that ever happened to you. I am the most intriguing, most interesting, most fantastic, most fantabulous, most lovely, most awesome thing for the minute that you can ever roam around the streets with. I am Impenjako. Though you don't be liking me, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. Mamela is a thing. Nyanzamalan, kodwa nzame. Nyanhesha lana kodwa nhesheki. Hey, kyalebona mara halebonege. I keep staring around everywhere trying to find anything else that I can use. Oh, shut up. I have another speaker over here. Mamela usista uyahesha yazwa. Yo. So I'm going to like plug the USB into this next speaker. Kodwa, this other speaker, I literally have not charged it in like a decade. Marakimo, it's on. Oh goodness. But now it's like dying. Like listen. It wasn't charging, that's the thing. I'm like forceful. Labon. I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. Now I'm on 35%. I really want to continue. Like, I've still got so much on my mind. I feel like I am... Oh, shut up. Leon is like, Didi. It's also sort of kind of on its way out. Oh, shut up. Just switch it off. Dima kapozozo. Kimo karipozozo. Christmas ferile. Crank Cat, what do you want to do? Anything? Like, just don't. don't. Do you want anything? I'm distracted over here by just the lack of battery power. Anyway, whatever. Mamela, Rosemary, like, Mamela, I've been saying it, okay? Y'all cannot afford to, like, pass away in this, like, most diabolical, beastly state. Like, what's happening with you? What's going on? Everything is giving me problems. Everything is beeping on me. This is South Africa. We love you, our beautiful land. Let's show the whole world we can bring darkness in the land. Saja. Why? There's literally nothing else that I can find. I know I used to have like a power bank. Maraliona. Shut up. This thing young Gracela. You young. I said now I'm on 34%, and 34% in it's gonna deplete at like bullet speeds. It's gonna deplete at like bullet speeds. I guess we might as well just move over to another device, right? No, let's finish talking on this device. I don't want to Mara, yeah, yo, I just keep looking around. Like, I'm so innovative, and in so innovating, I always find solutions for things. And when I can't find solutions, I'm like, oh my, what is happening? Am I rusting over here? Is that what's screwing you? Am I rusting? Am I rusting like some bad piping after dealing with a bad stew? Am I rusting? Somebody tell me. Oh, identify me as a ruster. Anyway, I appear to be rusting. It's alright. As I rust like this, the device is going to wreak havoc in my life with all this noise. I don't like it. People killing me. They be out here murdering a lady, Sister Chica, because I be finding them out for doing all different kinds of trash. Mamela, asisana. I said, listen, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over, guys. It's over. Oh. Anyway, whatever. Okay, like, I am so distracted this time around because of all these logistical and nightmarish issues. Why do we have no electricity for all these days? Like, what's going on? What's going on with the cold showers? What's happening? What? Oh, yo, anyway, I don't know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? Are we aware? Like, is there understanding? Does everybody have camaraderie pertaining comprehension? Oh no. Mamela, so yeah, people can't afford and so it's interrupting me. I'm still on 34%, but like not for much longer because the battery is gonna die at record speeds. So I might as well move to the other device now because, I mean, sister is nice and upset, isn't she? Like, am I not upset? Do I not look like something very upset? Do I not look like something just like just blowing steam? Like, steam. I'm blowing it. I'm upset. I can think of better days in myself. I can think of better conditions. I'm thinking about the house. Is there something in the house that I can utilize for this purpose? Like a whole microwave? No. A microwave. I'm trying to think about some device that's gonna function as a source of power that is just gonna keep going. Oh, this thing, young Gracela, I wish it would just not make this noise because it just keeps coming all up in my grill. Can you hear it? It sounds like a phone engaged. It's just boring. Okay, listen, there's nothing else. I'm just busy thinking. I don't want to be interrupted. I don't want to stop and be forced to sleep and, oh my goodness, no. Ugh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be forced. Like, listen, I'm on a trajectory. I've got a mission and we're going to finish it. And besides, like, what time is it? Lord have mercy. Ooh, Kimao sister utimile. Utimile, Osi. Utimile, because she thinks she can. 5:46. It's 5:40. It's almost 6 a.m. in the morning. And it's unfortunate. If it was summer, it would already start, like already the sun would be coming out and there would be some kind of semblance of hope for me and solar power, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. The battery is going to die at like record speeds going forward. So I might as well just start recording on the other phone. Anyway, whatever. These here syndicate ladies. Baba Marimabi. Dimpinjo tsa hae. Ba di satane. Ba nkareng ha ba bonahale. Kaofela ha ba bonahale. Nkare ke lififi. Amen. They're sitting on my chest and they in themselves are pushing this cart up. They in themselves are pushing this cart up a hill. They in themselves are determined to fulfill this mission. They in themselves are determined hulo fukutsa, hulo fetsa, hulo ravaza, hulo afflicta. A woman that frankly just does not have any more of this stuff coming. And they have forgotten about their femininity. They have forgotten their femaleness by Debetse as Basadi, and they're helping end me. Maragamo Saitengamo, this to me guy, yo, the death spells, sharp, what's he keeps on experimenting as on me. He keeps on harassing me. Die. like death rituals. And early this week, I woke up to hear this comprehension. The way I sang these spells, the whole of last week, from a death ritual. That's why the no flex code say some of them headache from just a death ritual. And when I posted my content, all he could say was usapila. This is a level of crazy going on in this country. I mean, other people are nostalgic. They wish that they could turn back the hands of time, but they just can't. And so now I gotta die. Marabo Osi Baba go YouTube. I got a dream. And I'm on 32%. Let's hope Uti I am preserved. Got 32% for a decent season. I had a dream, like week before last week, but whatever. I was supposed to share this dream in some content and release. But I lost the footage, like I said earlier. Am I still on 32%? Now I'm on 31. I'm paranoid about losing battery. I was in this bedroom that back in the day when I was a fornicator, dating this one guy from Rockville. I fornicated with him there, okay? So essentially it's a dream trying to regress me to the possessive and I keep born, I keep as a girl, a person. I don't know what makes sense for me, and so I'm just jollering rough. Nonetheless, this here weird bedroom was this one bed that my dad used to sleep on. My sister and I bought my dad furniture when we were lodging him in a place after Remo from where he was at. Anyway, a long story cut short. Alright, my father is this here thing that I am trying to run away from, ending up married to, because I get a generation of curses are pursuing me. My dad was a drunk. My dad was just a horrible husband, though to me slays my dad in character flaws. My father was not a druggie as well. He didn't take recreational drugs. He was an alcoholic only. And my dad was not a child molester. My dad was to a certain extent somewhat of a womanizer, I guess, just like to me, but my dad wasn't gay. And my dad, well, anyway, whatever. This guy is just a worse off version of my father. He's a combination of a myriad of other family members that are destructive, but I'm not prepared at this particular juncture to share some of the things that some of my like long ago family members did, because that's not this video, okay? So my dad was used. Now I'm on 28%. My dad was used because he is the best example to basically help me understand just how my life is gonna suck. And if at all my mom's life now today sucks because of having married that man, how much worse will mine be, given that these men, listen, slay my dad even in character flaws. They slay my dad. Anyway, whatever. Mbedo that used to belong to my father, that my dad had maunto amang sona. It was not wood. It looked like wood, but it was actually plastic, but it was brown and looked like wood. It was a decent looking bed. It's not like the bed in itself was decrepit, Mara. I understood it to be mpeto that my dad now and mpeto was the bed in this room, showing me essentially the attempt to marry me off to my dad. The attempt to when the battery is on 10%, I will move over to the other device, showing me essentially an attempt to try and marry me off to a man like my dad. And the bed in this room, there were these multiple chicks that I understood to be essentially hostile to me, but also feel like they can relate to me. They were hostile to me, however, we were kindred, in the sense that while they're hostile, they nonetheless are hugely able to relate with who I am. So ingati and I was at odds with them, though they were in agreement with me in certain facets. Exactly what these women all are. They can relate with much of the stuff that I say. Labafazi, however, were in a working capacity. Nebaduzi almost what looked like kodi desking, where there were laptops. Mara in this room, like room. By room I mean room ya kamontle. This is not exactly a room. It is to a certain extent, Mara. It's like a Wendy house, right? It's like old Lani in the burbs. Mara room. My man, like corrugated iron roof type setup thing, and it's kind of roomy and spacious. Mara, it's not looking very pretty on the inside. It was just an ugly room, right? Mara, in this room, and it was the one, like, you know how, like, you know, a room has got four corners. The one corner, the one L, what thing in the desk, it's like it was an office building for them. But at the same time, in the room, trapped. They felt like they were trapped in this room, yo. These women, essentially, They had a sense of foreboding within themselves that they are trapped by the status quo, by men. The kinds of men that my dad was. The kinds of men that come into the lives of women, and after that it's downhill from there. Their lives never recover. Either the baby daddy, the child maintenance, or by irresponsible, like the deadbeat dad, or like the deadbeat husbands. They're just the most horrific men that come into women's lives and then ruin them. They destroy impiros abo. They are essentially the worst thing that a woman ever married. They enter into marriages with them and then buy a two-swa inside marriages. My dad was not domestically violent, but essentially behaviors that are just so disregarding of marriage and the covenant they're in. Like lots of cheating, lots of disregard for coming home, like njabo hetiki, bamonna, osnang taba, kalenyalo. Osnang taba kamsa. My dad was like that. Okay, and these women were in this room feeling trapped by a circumstance of that nature. So essentially, ngamatota enu lao ante. It's the men you married, and you want to put me in the kind of marriage that can induce psychosis in a woman. You want to put me in the kind of marriage that can thoroughly put a woman in a psychiatric hospital after getting treated for some conditions because a man is driving her up the wall that badly. My dad was like that. After my mom married my dad, she said to her friends, she was telling me and my sisters later on, years down the line after they divorced, wait, after I got married, I used to ask my friends, because my dad showed my mom flames after they got married. Just no regard for the marriage covenant at all. My dad was that has independence because so my mom was studying during the time when she was married to my dad, and she would go she would find Mpeto that has evidently been lain on by a man and a woman, the way that this man was cheating on my mom with a whole bunch of women. He was just living his own life and and every so often he brings new chicks in. My dad was like that. A man being just like that. Yo, dog. That's the kind of man that can drive you up the wall and just like that. Except he's worse because he's a pedophile too. He's like just a litany of extra things that my dad was. And if my dad was enough to make my mom be mentally ill, because that's what she is today, how much worse then would I be with a man that's worse than my dad? Literally worse. Anyway, these women felt like they were trapped. Now my battery is on 22%. These women felt ingati they were trapped in this house, okay? In this room. And obviously my dad, because my dad, right? That we got for him. And these women were working in an administrative capacity in here, in that nonetheless, however, feeling trapped. So that's what God was showing me. These here are their husbands. These are their spouses, okay? Nothing right is giving. Over here, everything is falling apart for Labafa's Laba, and that's why they're wreaking all this havoc in my life, okay? Yeah, very well. Very cool and very banana peels. Now I'm all like paranoid about battery. Anyway, whatever. That's what was giving over here. Those were the conditions. Those were the circumstances. But however, it was not just these women that were in this capacity that were at odds with me. And I was not working. Basically looking on, and they were with great animosity against me. However, able also to relate. Ingati, they had a bittersweet relationship nami, and they were boys. They were in an administrative capacity. These guys, and these three guys, one of them, his name was Nati, and against the wall rather, and against the other side of the wall, who do see these women, and then around, even chilling more mpeto on the bed. However, officing as well, were three guys, buddy monitors. And these guys, one of whom his name was Nati, were so incredibly rapey. They were so entitled. Even though these women worked with these men, and it's like these women were complaining against these men. They were saying, stop doing this to us. We are supposed to be working together, and yet you guys stop raping. Stop taking abafaz ngenkani. We've got a mission over here, and y'all are just, listen, you're overstepping your quota. Because in this work that we do, y'all have got access to beautiful women, and you see them, that we are also enduring through suffering. Because it's like le ripa rona. And as basadi, when you're busy out raping women in front of us, we can't just turn a blind eye and act like this is normal. We don't like it. We don't like it. So these women were lamenting, they were complaining against these three guys. And these three guys were so chauvinistic, aloof, despondent, and misogynistic that they didn't care. what these chicks were saying. They were basically looking at them on some mamela, how these boys were is exactly how these women are. They work for YouTube, and so therefore these guys were like, ooh, it just keeps switching on and off, and I don't know if it's because the power is coming back on or what. Mara, in spite of it, nonetheless, I am out here now. I'm on 18% battery, and I don't know what's coming or what's going. Yeah, no, these guys were nibbling into essentially what would be contraband. They were just the people that were their victims. They're monitors in the occult. The people among them that they monitor are women. And some of the women that they monitor are, according to these guys, so gorgeous, so beautiful, suffering, that Lama Dotalawa, instead of just keeping to the mandate, just keeping focused on the mission at hand, what we're trying to do with these group of people. They're Christians, we must silence them, we must smother them, we must essentially make sure they go nowhere. Or they are whistleblowers. Some of them are so beautiful, according to these boys, that given that already they essentially go out of mandate. They experiment. Now the battery is telling me that it is low because it is on 15%. Okay, so let me basically just do one last part on this phone, and then I will move on to the other device. Yeah, no, these here boys. Okay, this is the last part that I'm recording on this phone. Then I'm gonna move over to the tablet, so there's gonna be a change of acoustics quite drastically. Don't be too shocked by it. I'm still carrying on with the same story. No, listen, these boys, they did not care. For them it was like anyway. We had a mission, A1, A unitary, A singular, on these here contraband, essentially victims of our cult. The plan was not so much to in ourselves rape them. There are other people that have got plans for them. There are other men. They're not up for grabs by us and their colleagues, other females that were also in themselves monitors in this fashion, lowly, essentially little lackeys and low order employees of these cults. They were like, I see how she's not yours for the taking. She belongs to boss Usbanbani. Such perverts. You're gross, guys. Like, come on. Like, leave women alone. Like, I mean, you see, the sun is ever so slightly popping out, and now the thing outside is beeping again, because eventually the power's gonna come back on, but not on time for me to recoup my losses with this here video. It's only gonna come back up at 9. Like, yeah, that's usually around 8:30, 9. So right now it's like almost 6:30. No, it's 3 minutes past 6, so I'm just not gonna get any joy. But it's okay. Yeah, no. These chicks were like, they belong to someone else. Why nani futhi nimzama? Nizohesha the same chick yin ngani. Man. Stop. And they keep on complaining, and these guys were like, I'ma do what I wanna do. Because why are you taking a moral high ground now where usebenza nathi? Now where you are working in this cult, and now where you are also looking at the same woman out here suffocating. So don't be acting like you're a better lady, because you're not even doing anything to help her cause along. So if I want Mina to see if I can't sleep with Karabo, I'm gonna test. If I want Mina to see if I can't sleep no mine, I'm gonna test. If Mina if I can sleep no latonzo test. And if ya pampa kotwa, listen, ukaulo lana. This is all course we're gonna eat masfunu kaula. We are all gonna try and sleep with her. Sonke sizozama ubona if askwazi ukulala naye. Sonke sizomzama, sonke siyamkhalela. So she's up for grabs by all of us. So ngicela nje ungathathi moral high ground. And these women were so upset at these 3 monitor guys. I ngisho kusela by 3, one of whom his name is Nati. Usithi by 3. They were so grossed out, and they finally listened through in the talbangala on some. I guess we as women must just accept ukuthi amadoda azohlala nje fela I feel are entitled to us, especially when we're in this position. Next part on my tablet. No, let me do one last part on this phone, because listen, I prefer in the sound acoustics over here. These chicks, because I still have like 11% battery, so it's not gonna die completely with this one part. No, these chicks were like, oh, so I guess I must just give up now. I must just throw it. They ended up bangalile on some as abafazi. For them, it was a matter of principle. It was like, if I was on the receiving end of being a woman like Arabo, or like these women, wonka matota were gonna feeling that they can snack into us. Any one of them would have attempted Nati. Any one of them would have essentially tried to see if they can't hit that, and it grossed them out. It made them feel like everybody would just want to jump on you in an orgy. Essentially, it was giving gang rape and nebanyonsa. These women mebanyanya indaba yoguti. All the guys, when they are encountered with a suffering woman, one, bonke bayamfuna noma kuna one that has laid claim to her, noma kumna one that has already essentially ukhipha ilobola ngongehesha like Lotumi. He bet on me and said I missed a whole bunch of other men and said him in Japan that's gonna try and pursue her nyamfuni. Kodwa ama-minion wakhe bayamdelela benanaba naye. They are disrespecting indaba yokuthi he has essentially paid to be the only one in pursuit of me. Habana da bangzama. I even the other day said why ungakhiphi le khata lakho elihlanyayo ngoba nalo liyangifuna. So kawufela langitela mara they are disrespecting you actively. They're going out of their way to disrespect the living daylights out of you because I get wena o patetse tšhelete hore o be wena fela tlo mfireyang. All of your minions are all up in my grill, including the ponisa la hao and the lady boys tsa hao tse dinyane di ranas le bona. They're all up in my grill bangilelekisa in a maze and baya in Kenya bonke. So ngicela nje nindubilalani. That's why there are animosities. That's why there are hostilities amidst each other. Because to them it's like, not to them, to this Tumi guy. I told you Karabo's mine, but all of them are secretly doing spells on me to see if they can't hit that. There's no order, there's no honor among thieves. And the women saw this and they were like, even though there is an explicit mandate that Karabo in this regard only do this with her, everybody else feels entitled to her, and these chicks were just nice and upset. But like, listen, these guys looked at them like you're hypocrites, because nani you are destroying women's lives. Nani no Karabo. So listen, you are hypocrites. Okay, let's move on to the next phone because officially I'm on 5%. Okay, listen, I'm in the pitch of night. Like, quality here is just like terribly shoddy, but it's okay. I have very little light from the one phone whose battery is just going and going. Not battery, sorry, but whose flashlight is still on. This one's flashlight I cannot use because, I mean, after all, the phone is on 3% battery now, but I just want to lift this thing a little bit higher because I put it up on a stand. Battery is on 55%. Hopefully we'll be able to get what we need to get out, but I bet you can tell that the quality of, what do you call this? Sound, audio is just ridiculous. But yeah, it's a little bit like I'm sounding like I'm underwater or whatever, but it's cool. It's peachy, it's bananas, and it's just lovely. Whatever. I'm moving on. Yeah, no, these women out here be speaking like, hey, nyahlanya, but the guys are looking at them like, in yourselves, you're hypocrites, okay, women? Like, listen. There's no makeup on it. I don't care that you all just so happen to be of the imagination that in yourselves, in yourselves you are ritualists. In yourselves you are taking bribes. In yourselves you're doing a thing. So you saying that you stand for Karabo, or not stand for Karabo but for women's rights, you're hypocrites. So is it better when it's on this side? Yeah, it is so much better, but then I would need to move once again. Yeah, I moved my stand to that side. So yeah, though my hair still looks really nasty, but it's okay. We'll just keep a forward view like that. Huskaba too damning over here. No, mare Luena, not Luena Kiribone, Luena Muibone, Luena sister nonsense. At the end of the day, bottom line herein lies, it remains, okay? Wahlanya sisters, nani nonke mahlangene nyahlanya, nani nonke mahlangene nyatagat, nani nonke you belong to the secret society. So to try and out here try and act like you're holier than thou, spectacular, and you are nicer than wow, we don't care. We don't care for any of what you're doing, because I'ma go get mine, because evidently now we're in so doing this thing to this woman. You're getting yours. And now you're getting yours. OC. I get over OC. Collective of Abosisi. Nani, you're getting yours, aren't you? Abosisi. Nina enizi yenze abantu aba bitter coffee. The bitter gosi. Likenze the bitter gosi. At the end of the day, you're getting yours. And we're also getting ours. So stay on your lane, we'll stay on ours. These guys, they literally looked at these women like you're hypocrites. Like, mamela. Tuamoron. And these chicks were like, oh, kushkutisi zohlala nje sedlwengula ngamadoda. Ngoba angisho they are women that work for ritualists. They are women that work for cults. And so they know that insofar as an ndota that belongs to a secret society, a cult of sorts, is of the imagination that kwamele mina ngiceda A, B, C, D na P na Q. Yoyenzwa. And imithi iyasebenza. So bayazi ukuthi la makorobela ayasebenza. Bayazi ukuthi lenyongo that everybody be out here doing all the day long, thinking that it's ordinary, spectacular, and normal. Yeah, sebe batse bo sibana ba tlhaloganya ke re hure ka bo jotlhe ba bona bo kopane bo ifapantshitse mona mo strateng e nkare ke lefito Yeah. They understand what witchcraft works. And so when then these guys out here bazitela bayitholla morona ba sotlegile ba tseba hore if ero ha ba dilika bazalone ba dileng baleng strong kushukuthi lamadoda nje fela they just dive into anything bathatha enye nenye into abayifunayo ngemithi kuyazibengulwa nje. And among them was a dude by the name of Nat hwa katiwa mona hwankiwa. And it was very afflicting to these women. This reality. Ineba aja, le teng e ka thata. Ineba loma, nkare ke berekisi. Ineba bontsha bo mma ba bona, nkare ha ba itsebe. Amen. And however, because they were hypocrites, they could do nothing. And they ended up retiring in themselves to this here, what do you call this? Mindset. They ended up in themselves retiring to this. That's what you do. That's what you end up as. As women that belong to secret societies. As women that belong to cult. In yourselves. As abafazi. La yitso boloy ba sebetsa. La tseba hore satane wa bereka. La tseba hore witchcraft is real. It works. And so if at all men just keep on experimenting amakorobela niyazi ukuthi futhi bazithela bazichitha in every woman that basically caves to it. This here reality was eating them whole, these women, because awukhono complain, you can't cry. OC. I'm looking so scruffy in this video, but it's okay. We're getting a message out. Listen, just focus on what we're saying, okay? You are a hypocrite. You work for a cult. And in yourselves, you are harassing women. So, sister girl, my lovely Pookie Pumpkin, shut up. That's what these guys flat out said to these chicks. Like, shut up. You're picking a controversy within WT. We're full of motwengulo. Rape, sister. Shut up. Because you are literally, you have handed those sisters to me. Wamumbeya mufati wa mualankara ke carpet. Oboro sizwe ambulala nai. Nati ambulala nai. Jab ambulala nai. You are women that are privy to rape. You are watching us take them. Nisebenza nati. You know what we do. So kupande fela skatobadi hypocrite was sisters. Kumangit. But there were only 3 of them left remaining. Uno setse by 3. Among them of which is Nati. That's what this here cult is achieving. And these women have gotten angst now. They're ambivalent now. Eh? But feel like some kind of way about what under heaven it is that they're doing. But feel like some kind of way about in WT. Yo, dog, like, listen. I have very limited understanding. It is potentially true that we didn't want. And she is resisting. Mara mamela kuyaheshwa kwafostwa and ba insist ba batla kankane ntwe ba ibatlang. So ha eba ne ha ba dilika mozalwane o tsebang story sa hae and hape o khona ngolora o ba bonang kwa tsaiwa anyone and anything. And manje we've got an epidemic of HIV up in these streets. We've got an epidemic of STDs up in these streets. We've got amadoda that are testing positive for diseases and abanandaba. They're like spring breakers in Houston, Texas, mamela. They are doing just what they want to do, and they are achieving just what they want to achieve. And akuna muntu ozoba stop according to them. Hana muntu otoba ringho, otoba bofang lifito kwetjo ngake tai. Hana muntu otoba bofang. And basadi ba sebetsang ka ditlhare. Le bona ba tseba hore dintho tse di a sebetsa. And unless you're dealing with umzalwane omunye oqinile, kuyathatheka. So kushukuthi sonke siyazwengulwa. Kushukuthi kaofela la tsawa. That's why earlier nikibina ele senotla. But instead of senatla ke sematla mamela semau. Yo, ya rubbish. Inka ngibona awuthena ya dumi ipatetse di tšhelete tse di kima antsha lobola for a sisters. Osa aso kopane le family ya teng. Aso kopane le family ya teng. Aso kopane le karabo wa teng. Ha so ka re hello my sister, let me introduce you, handshake. Why you better na madoda manye ukuthi ukarabo wami, I'm paying the price. And now today he is throwing money into sunken costs because according to him ukarabo wami ngimpatalele abora. Dog, like the dude that bought me. Hey. Kerekile utlelang ka rena ke hempe ko Edgars kerekile bongwana. And both sisters ba tseba hore if ero le ndote ya funa ngenkane izohesha and lento lena I rape, they agree with me. Mara ke di hypocrite ke di satan ene jwanong bana na go tshwantse ke lo tlhokafala. That's why ne ba batlang mema ko syndicate ya bona ba fila nkare kakabo go shubile ngaphandle ngalapha ya ke yetsela mara OC ere ka lukisang go shuba hona enke because ha eyo engwe tsela ya go jika ya go tswa ya go escape mona man ayo. And I guess as bias ke lemsa tsela ya bona, they have imagined ukuthi they're now gonna leave me out on a limb as a woman because who was born ngoba kushubile ngaphandle ngalapha ya sure strong warapela and everything and wabona walora So Gracia bo bona go ke di Satan ha eyo engwe magatsela karabo sister girl ngwanizer ayikhwenye indlela girlzina then ukunawe uthakathe ubona ukuthi ungayenzani evil must repay evil tshwantse ha ba re shapa ka face re ba shape ka mpam tshwantse le rona re tle ka flying kick tshwantse le rona re ba loye back tshwantse le rona re bona re ka iketsetsang if ha o batle bona ke mo nathi le dimpeng tsa hae tse two they are of the imagination that tina singa hypocrite for saying kodwa you are going out of mandate you are escaping a mandate amanloyens wakho angena self control but wami abhiza afuna ukarabo ngenkani even though uthengwe utumi ngiyamhlonipha lo tumi wenu yezwa inyongo though lemagata ure haka kodwa utumi uthe le fedit kodwa utumi uthe le fedit noma already o gapilwe ke ba bang ba sa mmoneng ka next ba morwa ka ibile nga ba bua ka yena mara lona ha le ka re kodwa utumi uthe usetumi ubhutwethu utumi umuntu wethu boss, patron. Yeah, he be giving Pablo Escobar all the day and all the night long. Dotumwen, ha khokare, kotwa utumi ute. Halekare kotwa utumi ute le fedite. Halekare kodwa utumi ute. Ne kredile bongwana, ne kredile. Yo. Ha shem le tsatsi ke mo le chabile mara electric ha iso go tle tlo go tlaka bo e. Mara ho lokile. Ke tla nna ntse ke bua sebaka se nka buang ka sona. I'm on 48% ya battery. 48%. I'm even tempted to go get a jazz like a jacket, like something really warm, and go record the rest of this video. Kokoloying mokonang le light ya kamontle because the light is on. Though I'm not yes, like I haven't been in there in so long and it's so dirty. And I'm I don't want to be too cold. I don't want to be like cold like a monster. Better lighting conditions. However, as the sun continues to rise further and further and further, the lighting conditions will improve, but at this point I really don't care even about lighting. I don't care. No, it's not necessary. Aesthetics are no longer important. We're just sharing essentially what in the world under heaven is going on in this country. And answer move reshafula. Retla lose a train of thought. It's not about aesthetics. We understand electricity. Let the conditions be captured, of the conditions in which I'm reporting this here information. Mara get stand work one kuta and these chicks the very thing ends ke highlight on no mara ke ma hypocrite ke ba kenze spisa parafinista maronza ke sterkisi bona mara ha ba gono ho handla ba gono go shubile bana ke di Satan go shubile dintjanyana tsena ke di Satan mamela ha dina maintseo they can't handle the heat, they can't get out of the kitchen abas bye so re tla ba yetsetsang no, these chickies ended up embracing ba acceptile bo girl ne they ended up ndefela ba amkele indaba yokuthi jo bazosi zwengula lamadoda and ha hona tsela ya ho tswa kutsho go jwalo. And after these women said ho jwalo mpeto one banna ba dutse mo ona ne ba le mo mpetong especially ba le ready ho rape and bana they were similar to my dad was not a rapist. That's why the men that want me are worse than even my dad, but they're the kinds of men that if they were to finally land a woman ka yona korobela ya teng bangamyenza fra like my dad made my mom fra in a marriage. Bafuna bafazi bafuna ubafaka emandleni abo kodwa abakwazi ukubathanda abakhona ho ba banna ba lo take on the responsibilities tsa bona as abo baba ha ba khona rata bana ha ba khona rata basadi ba rata lenyalo nje fela just to say umfazi wami ngithathile mara o dula jarateng still aka se khona holo amogela sorry dijo tse phegilweng tsa mosadi a ba khona holo ba banna ba leng responsible go jarateng abakwazi mamela they cannot be men in the very important sense of the word to wives, but they like to do that which men must of course do as they get older. So if indoda iyahlonipheka nje kuphela uma ichadile, then I guess kwamele ngiyochat mara lerato haba le khona ba rata fela ho thola plate e warm ena le dijo tse chisang mara ho rata mosadi wa teng lebala. They're essentially entitled to moms that they also have sex with. They're entitled to abo mama that will always prepare their meals, clean their stuff, make sure the house is clean, and all they gotta say is thanks, mom. Like little boys growing up under mom, but this time around they be out here putting a baby in mom's stomach. Babata bomme, umama agazokhala azocomplaina musan that's busy with next door neighbor's daughter, or that's busy with 20 other girls in the neighborhood. My son is a player. Go mumwadulang ten komorao. Ulati say bo girl. That's why I feel room. I feel privacy. Let men do what men do. Let boys do what boys do. But this time, listen, it's not your mom, it's your wife, dog. So you can't be bringing pinky na maina le refill. Ko jarating. Bali for ka fela mamela ka beke one. You can't be doing any of that. Batandu chata ko to have ndaba. nomtshado bathanda ukuchata kodwa abenandaba nomtshado barata lenyalo mara banataba ka manyalo a bona so bafraza basadi and namadoda were chilling on umbhedo wa my dad evidencing gore essentially ntwe ba heshang bakagcina bathona le ntate waka ha ba qeta o thola msadi ba mo banka fela ba bodla dog and they move on abenandaba nothando mina ngimela uJesu yo I waited on the Lord for a husband. Ain't nobody gonna be out here just snatching me like he's doing a cash and transit heist angiyothathwa nje ayikho ntsawa kinja etlo tholang msadi wo mongwe wamhlaba wa digata kitchening wa baker even ngona le virtue mamela everything is in a bunch kodwa ngihlala ngilahlela amabhodo everywhere. I'm always throwing pots and pans the way I'm always so mad. I'm always blowing steam. In my other shorts I lamented about how it is that these men also like to say to abafazi abaharasayo yehlisa umoya yo kana kwa teng uskrimela taba hore ana go wa go tlile jarateng ka 2 mose a ko nyala ntate waka mamela nna ke rapetse tle I didn't even have a boyfriend that was like my dad. Like, it's just bizarre that people are... Mamela, it is not bizarre. It's a generational curse. I see it. It's not bizarre. It's a generational curse. This here phone, another issue with it, this device, another problem with it, is that every so often it lags my speech. So my speech might be lagged, but it's fine. You're hearing the audio. It's not about the quality. I struggled to record this time around. Demonic attacks, South African issues, electricity, whatever. It doesn't matter. So if my speech is lagged as well, I'm not correcting it. I'm not realigning it. I'm not doing whatever. I forgot to switch off my tablet and then switch it back on again. If I don't switch it off and then on, speech lags, dog, and I'm not interested in switching this off and on again. It could take 10 years to reopen, and I'm on a train of thought here that is just lingering. The thing is captured. What's important is that the diction, the audio, is captured. The audio is captured, and so if I'm like lagged from what I'm actually speaking, it's irrelevant. What's important is that the information is getting out there. Gunjalo in these environments. Do you understand? And then no. Basadi thinking that you're gonna take matters into your own hands. Hey, or whatever. Listen, I belong to Jesus. Me, I'm not trying to go to hell. Gifilwe prescriptions as to how to live, how to be out here exploring impilo yam. Nankudra. And then mudimu jaga khaim chulizoro ke pelejwang. I'm not gonna be an affront to that. I'm just not. Kodwa kunzima to try and be godly when you married to trash, dog. And kunzima to try and be godly when udula le fra, udula le na, udula complain, udula scream, udula rasa, udula hla dipitsa di dipan. And happy udula ola, utletse ka angst and sorrow. Udula, what a very bitter. You can't be godly in that state. I'm telling you now, kunzima. And as soon as there's only one name given among men by which they must be saved, so angizothathwa mina indoda ezongiyenza ukuthi ngibe bitter too much to be truly godly. Nobody is gonna make me so bitter that I'm gonna struggle to love God. I'm gonna struggle to honor His precepts. I'm going to always just be on some, I hate you so much right now, like I'm Kelly's. I'm not going to marry a man that's going to make me like Kelly's. I'm not going to marry a man already in the feel I keep on expressing my sentiment that I'm in fun lang kande kona gress up nyanya. How's that going to work exactly? How? Like somebody please explain to me. How? No marabana bana basa batleng. Asike go batla basadi ba sa ba batleng king. I think you plan a crash up more so precisely because mega bafuni do they plan for ba mo planela because ha ba